in my own hometown. Stranger.
Howdy folks, Little John. Got a brew going on. As you can see from the start there, we're having a crack at the Stones Brewing Arrogant Bastard Ale. This is the second time I've brewed this beer, and it's not exactly a clone as such, but very similar. I first brewed this beer last year for a case swap with the boys from AHB, Aussie Home Brewer Forum. And thought I'd need to do something a little bit different, something that's going to stand out a little bit. So I had a crack at the old Arrogant Bastard. Got a bottle of it a while back and really enjoyed it. It was quite a nice drop. So I thought I'd have a crack at it. Done a little bit of research online, listened to a couple of podcasts and things. Big one was the Can You Brew It podcast, which was actually done in conjunction with one of the brewers, and their recipe was supposedly quite close. So I modelled mine off that. A chunk of that recipe is for medium crystal. This is where I had the problem. I can't get medium crystal from my local brew shop, and I wasn't going to get it posted in for the sake of the half a kilo that I needed. So I made some adjustments. I used a little bit of pale crystal, a little bit of Caramunich and a little bit of Caraaroma in this brew to compensate. Should get me somewhere still in the same sort of realm. I used crystal pale and I think some dark crystal, and I think a little bit of Caraaroma in last year's batch, and it went down really well. It was quite good. Unfortunately, I only got 2 bottles of it myself, so I didn't get to enjoy too much of it. So I thought I'd do myself another batch of it. Coming in, we're into winter. Need something a little bit easier, something a bit more wintry. So this is what's going on. So I've just mashed in, got this sitting at somewhere around 64, 65 degrees. Won't be just at the moment, but it's set to come up to there. I've mashed in probably just a little bit under that, but I'll allow the herms to bring it up to the right temp. Yeah, at the moment she's sitting about 62, 63, so I'll just let that go around there. So got me new beauty spa jar in. She's kicking along. Slow down a little. Alright. And we'll leave that to do its thing for about an hour. As I said, just a straight through mash at 60, 64, 65, somewhere around that mark. The last batch I did was at 67, which I brewed out with a YS 1469, the West Yorkshire Ale. I haven't got any of that at the moment. What I'm going to use is the slurry from the hop hash ale, which I've actually just bottled this morning while this was while the strike water was warming. I bottled and kept that up, Used Jack's M15 Empire Ale, which is fairly lowly attenuating in that batch. So I thought I'd just dial the mash temperature back just a couple of degrees to try and compensate for the lower attenuation and try and get a little bit more out of it. Oh, get out of here, bloody dogs! They want to get involved and they want to carry on. But so with the lower temperature, I'm hoping that'll make up the difference with the attenuation, still get us into that alcohol range that I'm looking for. The real deal sits at about 7.2%, I think I just read on the bottle before. This, I'm hoping to come out somewhere in the low 6s. I don't really want it up around the 7s. It's a little bit higher than what I'd like. That stings me too much. I'd like to be able to have a glass or two and not have to bloody, feel too bad after it. So, but we'll see how we go. That's aiming off the bottom for the rung of the efficiency I expect to get. If I get a little bit extra, I might pump up to 6.5. And you never know. See how the day takes me. I might throw bloody, half a kilo or so of dry malt into the boil just to bring it up later. We'll see what the day brings. But for the time being, I'm going to just let this do its thing. Got a few other things to do. And I'll report back a little bit later once we see where we've got to. Righto, so the mash tun's now drained, it's in the kettle, it's just coming up to a boil. So while that's happening, I'm just going to seal up these bags of grain from earlier. Now these things are great. I've been trying to get one for ages. Everyone sort of says, you get a vacuum sealer so you can seal up your grains and more particularly your hops and stuff. Well, I've always found other things to spend me money on. But they've just come up on sale on bloody Aldi just the other week. So thought, had a bit of spare cash, stuff it, I'm going to get one. So I've now entered the world of vacuum sealing. So I'm just sealing up the leftover grains here, and then I'm going to weigh up the hops. We'll get them out and have a look at them. So I'm going to keep doing this, and I'll come back shortly when I'm doing the hops and have a look at that. Rightio, so I'm about to weigh out some hops. And as I've mentioned previously, the hops I'm using they're fresh hops. They're from Stuart, I'm pretty sure it's Fresh Hop Co-op. He's a relatively new hop farmer down in South Australia, in the Adelaide Hills, I believe. And this is some of the end of his crop from this season that I managed to get hold of. So they're fresh Chinook. They're still a little damp, they're not completely dry. Now he had reported to me that he was getting garlicky type smells, but I'm not picking any garlic on that. That smells like what I'd expect it to smell like. So I'm looking for 26 grams on our first edition. And given that these are dry, it's going to take a little back to get there. Break them up a bit as we go. I'm hoping these go alright. Oh, gee, they smell good. 23, 24. We're nearly there, 26 we want. There, don't weigh much. There you go, 26 grams. So you see there's a whack there. Yeah, so that's what would normally go into your pellet. So that's the 60-minute addition. That's the bittering for this batch. Got a few additions. So I think the kettle's just come to a boil. Let me just check that. It certainly has. So we've just hit the boil on the kettle. So we'll start the timer on that. If we can get it to go, there we go. So I'm doing a 90-minute boil on the batch today. Main reason being the bulk of the grain bill is Pilsner. And I'm not taking any chances with DMS. I've had it before. I don't care how much they say these malts are modified and whatnot. I've paid the price before doing a shorter boil, 60 minutes, and still getting nasty stuff in there. So I'd rather take the 90-minute boil, use a little more grain to get me there, and avoid the problem altogether. So I've got half an hour until I got my first addition. And then I've got the second addition here will be 28 grams. Yep, bang on. That's number 2. Just so I don't get myself all bloody confused here, because that happens pretty easily. 1, 2, so I've got 5 hop additions on this fella. I might just leave 1 and 2 for the moment. Yeah, 5 additions. The bittering at 60, then there's one at 15, 10, 5, and a flame out drop in. They're all in the sort of mid-20s. As I said, I've done it before. I've moved the previous batch. I had about 20% more in the bittering addition, and I did in the last edition went in at 10. So I've moved the equivalent of about 10 IBUs worth back to 5 minutes just to try and lift the hop profile a little bit. That was the only real concern that was shown with the first batch, was there just wasn't quite enough hop there. So that's there to try and fix that problem up. So not much going on for the next little while before I do the hop additions, so I'll go and keep fiddling around. I'll go and get some lunch while it's coming up to the first hop addition, and I'll pop in with you a little bit later and see how we go. Okay, so we've got the brew into the fermenter, and I'm just about to drop in the aeration stones, running off just an aquarium pump. And I'll just let that run for about 4 or 5 minutes, get plenty of oxygen in there before I pitch the yeast. And this is what I'll be pitching. That's the slurry off the hop ash ale, and there's about 300 ml of thin light slurry there, so that should give me plenty of numbers to do what I want to do. So this one will go away, put it to bed shortly, we ferment it at 18 degrees, and we'll bottle up, and you'll hear about it when it's finished. So until I see you next time, good brewing.